Happy publishing anniversary to Rupi Kaur. It is now a decade since Milk and Honey, her first poetry collection, became available. And to celebrate, she has brought out this gorgeous pink collector's edition, which is a hardback and is a much thicker volume. And the new edition contains lots of extra content, including an introduction which explains how Rupi went from being largely unpublished to being a worldwide publishing phenomenon. And for those of you who are not familiar with the story, Rupi was entering into the market when, at a time when poetry collections weren't selling particularly well, and so they weren't published that often, so it's quite difficult to get a book deal. She'd been going to open mics and presenting her poetry and had been publishing on Instagram and been getting good positive feedback from both of those forums. However, she'd been advised to try and publish in magazines, and she was finding her work difficult to place in the print magazines. And so then she really felt that she needed to present her poetry as a collection, because that would be the best way for her poetry to be seen as a whole collection rather than as individual short poems. But she was advised not to self-publish because apparently the publishing houses would not then take her seriously. However, after exhausting all of the other options, Rupi decided to go ahead and self-publish anyway, and she did so through a platform called CreateSpace, which, as I understand it, has now merged with Kindle Direct Publishing. I think I have that right. And she became so successful, she sold so many copies that the rumours reached the publishing houses, and one of the publishing houses obtained a copy of her book, saw the potential, and so they offered to republish her book, which I think is a really nice part of the story. So when she was in the in-betweeny phase, she was getting positive feedback but couldn't get published. She self-published, and then it made it possible then for her to publish with a publishing house. And so I would just like to thank Rupi Kaur for showing us the possibilities within the different platforms and how self-publishing can really help your career to move forward, and just to congratulate her really on being phenomenally successful. And I would definitely recommend for everyone to buy this book.